Hello, I'm Terry David Mulligan. This is Tasting Room Radio. Here's what's happening this weekend. We're doing a special on the Cowichan Wine Festival, the fourth annual Cowichan Wine Festival, which is going to happen August 1st through 31st. And just a heads up, last year it sold out. So if you're going to go, make your plans now. And to help you along with your decisions, we've invited to Zoom, the Zoom room, and your screens, Jim Moody, the owner winemaker at Zanatta, Bailey Williamson, the winemaker at Grouse, and Lorin, Inglis, the manager at Enrico. In the second interview, it's Brent Rowland from Averill Creek and the winemaker at Joue as well, Michelle Schulze from Venturi-Schulze, and Dan Wright, the winemaker at Unsworth. So they're all going to give you information. They're going to tell you what they're going to pour, even some of the surprise pours that you might not know about. It's all on Tasting Room Radio, which you can find at mulliganstew.ca. Enjoy the video component. It's pretty cool. Hope you like this.
We pour the wines. You come in and sit down at a table where the wines are all ready. Our ambassadors, if you will, stand at a safe distance with masks on and talk to you and answer your questions about the wine. So it's all controlled and regulated.
Tell me, have you guys? If you did this, I missed it. Have you guys, all of you Ortega growers and bottlers, have you done a tasting side by each and just tasted how different the sub GI is one from the other?
Yes.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done that a few times, just internally with the winemakers and
Right.
wineries.
And how different were they, Jim?
Quite different. It's really nice to see. I mean, obviously there's the Ortega in there, but just everybody's different style and their location. It's really quite nice to do them all like that.
Some oaked, some unoaked, some.
Yeah, Beaufort does an oaked Ortega. They also do the Champenoise as well, and that's quite different. Of course, Bailey has it.
Does it want to be an ice wine?
Icebox style, I imagine, would all you could do here.
Well, you can freeze your grapes. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the Randall Graham Bonnie Doon style. Put it in the freezer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, look, Lorin Inglis is here. Enrico.
Speaking of Ortega.
But before I forget, what are you pouring for the wine festival in August?
We're pouring the Ortega and the Rosé.
Lorin. Yes, you're absolutely right. Please, Bailey, please tell me what you're going to pour at the counter during the wine festival.
Definitely, it'll be the Ortega and the Rosé, and there may be a something else red that'll be a game day decision, depending on what the managers upstairs decide.
If you could, what would you pour?
I'd pour it all.
Attaboy, Bailey.
That's why you're not in charge. Oh, by the way, I think I want to congratulate you, Bailey, because you led the charge for the sub GI that you guys now proudly can put on your labels. Did you have to twist arms, or did people understand that the Cowichan had something to say and was a place we wanted to put on the map?
It was everybody was involved, and which was really great to see. The legislation has it in a funny way, but everybody was on board. Not everybody might use the sub GI on their label, but they're able to if they decide. And so it was great to see everybody on board and recognizing that it was probably something that we should do.
Sure.
So I think it's just, it takes us to the next level, and people will make their own decisions whether they want to, put it on the label or not, and how that goes about it. There's so many regulations around that, for some people, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And then for others, they want to. So the option is there for the individuals.
I know that you're not looking for any rewards, but a knighthood might be on the way. That's fantastic.
Unlikely.
Maybe not. Maybe some fingerprinting.
Well, The kids try to take my head off with the sword, but that's about it.
She's getting old now, Bailey.
I know.
Lorin Inglis, I'll get your, we'll do your introduction in just a second, but first, what are you pouring it in? First of all, tell Enrico, you're up and running?
100%. Wednesday to Sunday, we're open from noon till 5. No reservations are required. We too have a very large patio and deck, of which most of it's covered right now. So,
and the music program has started, right? Every Saturday, weather permitting?
Music has started every Saturday, yes. Starts at 1 and plays till about 5 o'clock.
How do you clear that room at 5 o'clock? Or do you?
Brooms and yelling and screaming.
Yeah, loud here.
And,
okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
What have you planned to pour during the festival?
Well, seeing as everybody else is doing Ortega, we're not. So we're gonna do one of our sparklings. We're gonna do our rosé, and then we're gonna have a bit of a surprise red. And I mean it'll change day to day, but it'll either be the Libre or the Foch. But I'd really like to see if we can sneak down a little bit of the field blend and for a couple special guests and let them try that.
Very nice. Jim, are you going to sneak anything under the table? I don't hear any surprise reds there.
Actually, possibly 2 this year. One, maybe not. It's going to need another year, but I think there's one waiting to come out. So
cool.
It's like a card game.
Yeah. Who's going to trump who, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now I have to edit around this. It goes like this. Lorin, you have been chosen. I don't know why, but you have been chosen to be the spokesperson on this session for the Cowichan Wine Festival for the month of August. What shape and form is it going to take? Will we recognize it from like last year?
Yeah, the format's going to be the same as last year. It's obviously going to go the entire month of August, starting at the 1st. We're super excited about it again this year. The 4th year going, last year was a total sellout. Actually, it was beyond a sellout. Really, we surpassed all of our ticket sales that we had projected. And this year, we're hoping that people are going to get on board early so that they won't be disappointed. But it's going to be exactly the same format last year. Tickets are $35. Your glass, your passport is your ticket, and that allows you to get into all 12 of the participating wineries.
Is it a handsome glass? Do you have one you could hold up to the camera?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, do we have a wine festival glass handy? I don't think so.
We make one up? Okay, never mind.
Yes, we do.
Oh.
There we go. It's a handsome glass. Can you see it?
Now, I get a little closer, please. The actual glass, bring it closer. Where's that? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. Cheers.
Yeah, wow, and there'll be no free ones given away, Terry. So if you want one, they're $35.
Need a dribble cup. That's all.
Yeah.
Events. Are there any, or is it each winery for himself?
Well, the best thing to do is to check with all the wineries, obviously. But like I said, tickets go on sale June 1st. But check with the wineries, find out if what they require, whether you do it by phone or by email, whether or not reservations are required. But we recommend that highly, that you do check in to see what all the wineries are doing.
Okay, I'm going to go around the screen now, starting with Bailey up the top. Comments, if you will, gents, on what 2021 will end up looking like in terms of wine and distribution and wine fans and just the whole general mix, and maybe what 2022 would look like. What are your gut instincts, Bailey?
I think as the vaccine rolls out, the restrictions will be less. People will be a little freer to travel and visit whatever entertainment venue they like. I think for us at Blue Grouse, it will be all about the transition to organic viticulture and the new plantings that we've put in the ground. I think that really is one of the big stories for the Cowichan right now, is that there are a lot of new plantings from a number of different wineries. And I think there is a concerted effort to become more sustainable from most of the wineries, that even if they are already there, it's becoming a much bigger discussion around the whole industry, and not just here but worldwide. So I think, and the ability to host people again and try and see where we're going in the future. And I mean, let's face it, our restaurant partners have been hit really hard, and we're going to be looking to try and help them out any way we can to get them back on their feet, because that's out of any industry, they've really had it a punch in the gut with the last year and a half. So if we can help them and get everybody back on track, I think that's really what it's going to be all about.
Bailey Williamson, Blue Grouse. Jim Moody, nice to see you again, even if it's just on screen. Zanatta, I love your winery. I love the hang. I walked in the front door and I went, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I want right here, right now. Congratulations. What do you think the answer to the question is about what's up ahead?
What's up ahead? Oh man, I think this year's going to be a little bit cool, but I think Bailey's right. It's going to just get better with vaccination things, and I think Bailey really covered it all anyway. So I kind of just live for the days, Terry. So I take it as a come.
Okay. And Lorin, what about you?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, it's pretty much mirrored all the way through. I think as the vaccinations roll out, it's definitely going to ease up for us. I think one of the big things, and it was lightly touched on, the buy local program has been absolutely massive. And I think that all of our supports that we've been getting from all of the liquor stores, the distribution, everybody who's been supporting locally as heavy as they have been, has been fantastic for all of us. And it's, I think that's been a crutch. And if we can continue that after we get back to normal, whatever normal may end up being, I think that's going to be, that'll be super important for everybody.
Thank you for doing this, you guys. I appreciate you. I'm sure you're going to be way better than the bunch that I talked to next.
Guaranteed we will be.
Just one thing I want to clear up. By the way, who's got the website? Lorin, what's the website?
It is www.tourismcowichan.com.
That's it. That's how people get there.
That's how people get the tickets. Yeah.
Get out of here.
And like I said, June 1st, it all comes on. So www.tourismcowichan.com.
You don't need the W's anymore.
I know. Okay. So I'm old school. What can I say?
You are like a fine aged wine that's been corked. Jim, what is your website?
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Don't say W, Jim.
.ca.
Okay.
I didn't put HTTP //
Okay. And Bailey?
Bluegrouse.ca.
And the last question goes to Bailey, because I think it's you that said, or the Blue Grouse that said, your philosophy evolves from the concept of stewardship, which I interpret as loving Mulligan stew. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I want to make that. Yeah. Jim Moody from Zanatta, Bailey Williamson from Blue Grouse, Lorin Inglis from Enrico. As a public service, Tasting Room Radio has them on screen, and the streets are safe in the half an hour that we were talking to them. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Terry.
Coming up next, Averill Creek, Venturi-Schulze, and Unsworth. Bye.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, guys.
Good job as usual.
Well done. Well done. Cow 2. This is Cow 2. You're the second bunch. You were the controllable ones, which is kind of scary in it. Dan Wright at Unsworth. Before we talk about Unsworth, let's talk about just the festival. Will it be the same as what we've had before, or will there be some adaptation?
I believe it's the same as last year, which worked out really well. So what we're doing is a month long in August, 12 participating wineries, $35 for the ticket, and you get a glass, branded wine glass, and you get to go around at your leisure to taste around at all those wineries. So that way, doing it a month long gives people time to space out and take it at their pace.
Do you think some of these wineries are going to require reservations, or is it just open door?
Good question. Putting me on the spot. I'm not quite sure how that works.
Anybody know the answer? Jill, do you know the answer? You can hit it on the chat room if you want. And I can edit around that.
I know definitely with us, it's going to be reservations recommended for sure, because we only have certain capacity, so we can't accommodate you if you rock up and we're full.
Okay, that's Averill Creek we're talking about. Same with you, Venturi-Schulze?
Yeah. Venturi-Schulze is going to be reservation only because we're really small and we're outside, so we can only operate basically 3 tables. So that was one problem that we had last year, and it was a good problem to have. So basically August booked up for us within about 3 days. And that was great because we knew what to expect and everything like that. But it was frustrating for some participants to not be able to make it to see us because we're just very limited. Yeah.
Okay, Dan, by the way, this is where you're supposed to hold up the glass and show us the official glass. Did they supply you with the glass? No.
No.
I can tell from the look on your face. I had to do that. I had to do that. I know that they would never have given you a glass.
Okay. No, they wouldn't give me a glass. No.
Michelle Schulze, let's talk about Venturi-Schulze. They've been around. Who's been around longer, you or the winery?
Well, no, I've been around forever. So it's family business. So mother, stepfather, and myself. We let's see. They bought the property in '87 and started planting in '88. So I did my time, but I was a teenager.
It shouldn't surprise us that the Brut Naturel that you're going to be pouring is 2014.
Yeah. We do that. We're small, and for us to hold stock when we're talking about, I think a big release for us would be like 250 cases of something in particular. We're weird. We can do 40 cases and that kind of stuff. So if we feel like holding on to something, it's not taking up a massive amount of real estate in the winery. We've got enough space to do that. So we're fortunate to be able to do things like that, not to push it out right away. So
we decided to, and not just sip it. We decided, because it's bubble, we decided to have it with dinner 2 nights ago, and we had it with what do they call those French pies that you can get at French,
like a tourtière sort of pie?
The tourtière was fantastic.
Yes. I mean, bubblies, especially those dry ones. People do seem to relegate them to special occasions, which is fine, and that's lovely. But I always tell people, like, you're completely worth $35 on a Tuesday with hot dogs if that's what you want to do with it. I mean, bubblies are so versatile and everything like that. They're really, really great. And
it's also unique. It's Auxerrois Pinot Noir.
So that one I think is actually 100% Auxerrois on that particular one. Yes. Okay, so yeah.
Well done. I love that, Craig. The 2019 Kerner.
Yeah.
40 cases.
Yeah. That was my playing around baby. I took the Gris in 2019 and I took the Kerner. So I'm thinking about serving the Kerner because I also have Kerner from 2014. And so when the wine shop opens back up, I'm going to pour them both side by side so people can understand what age does, and also they're completely different stylistically. So and that's a bit of a departure from what we're kind of known for doing stylistically, but I really got to play around, and it was 40 cases. And if I screwed that up, I don't think I screwed it up. But
and for Kerner ice wine fans, are they going to like this? Will they like the transition?
I think they'll like it. I mean, I modeled it, at least in my mind. Now it's a little bit different, but I mean, because Kerner is Riesling based, and 2019, it offered that opportunity to do something with that type of mouthfeel and the residual that's in there. So that I fermented with a yeast that has a hellish time trying to finish fermenting. And I knew that. And so when I was putting it in the bottle, it just didn't finish all the way fermenting. So that was the whole point. And to keep that acidity up there, like you're trying to figure out, does my teeth hurt? Does my throat hurt? Like the acid and the sweetness in there are, they're wicked.
The spirit of Venturi-Schulze is alive and well with Michelle Schulze. We're talking about the August Cowichan Wine Festival. We're going to get to Brent in just a second while I learn again how to say the label name correctly. We're going to go to Unsworth for just a moment. Oh, by the way, I want to come back again, and I want to ask you about balsamic. Maybe there'd be some balsamic pours in there, and the legacy, of course. Now. Dan Wright at Unsworth, you sent me quite a few to taste. I almost finished, and then I finished this morning at about 7 a.m. Where do you want to start? Because you want to start with your bubble. What did you? Was there a bubble in there?
I'm trying to remember what I sent you. I just wanted to butter you up, just send you a whole bunch of things.
Thank
So, sure. I mean, I can always talk about our Charme de Lille. I'm not sure if I sent you one
You
recently,
did. You
but
did send me the Charme de Lille. You
okay,
what you did send was the Pinot Noir Rosé, which I expected.
sure.
Are you making more?
Sorry, what was the question?
Are you making more?
No, keeping that one about even. I mean, it's around fluctuates between 800 to 1,000 cases, and it's always like a classic staple for the winery and for I think becoming a sort of a classic BC rosé, if I can say that. And
Is
and
consistency. Here's the thing. Sometimes when I say consistency, some winemakers get upset. No, you get what you get because it's a blend. And I understand that, but that rosé is a certain mouthfeel, a certain nose that you just want to open it up and take part in that. Are you required, you think, you yourself, to touch those bases?
To touch, to sort of keep it consistent.
Well, if we like the 2018, are we going to like the 2019? Okay, I know the growing years.
Yes, of course. Yes, and then I think I sent you the 2019. 2019 was such a classic, I think, Cowichan year. A little bit of a return to normal, cool weather, and then the 2020 is similar, but just a little bit more expressive. And I mean, the changes in the rosé are very, very minimal. So you'll like it.
When does the 2020 come out?
Probably this summer. That's why I'm trying to think, like by August for the wine fest, it might be onto 2020, I think, for us.
And the Pinot Gris?
Pinot Gris, we made 2 Pinot Gris. One is found a little more widely retail wise. It's just called 2020 Pinot Gris. That's out now. I'm really proud of it. I think it's one of the best Pinot Gris we've ever made. And the 2019 Saison Pinot Gris is our current release in the winery at the moment. So that's single vineyard. Yeah.
The Chardonnay. I love the Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, crisp, sort of lean style, if I had to compare Chablis-esque style, and super small inaugural release, just sort of playing around right now. It was about 260 cases. I think it's almost sold out to Wine Club, I'm afraid. So join the Wine Club if you haven't already to try to get on that. But
that's good because the Wine Club plug. The Savignette, again, their fans love. You'll sell that out.
Yes, absolutely. It's a bit of a cult wine locally, and barrel fermented neutral oak. I think it's unlike any other thing. You can't really compare it to it, but it's somewhere between Chenin and Riesling and Chardonnay, neutral oak, and nice, but nice acidity and mouthfeel too. So,
thank you, Dan. Did I forget any?
I'll just mention the Pinot Noir. The 19 is going to be released by, I think, July 1st is our plan. And I sent you the 18. The 18's tasting really well right now, but the 19's coming out soon. So look for that.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Can I talk to Brent for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. He's right there.
Yes, I can see him. What's just off to your right? Have you got bottles lined up there?
Am I right? Yeah, I'm drinking the Joue.
I
thought that's what we were doing today. Drinking.
We are. No, yeah. Except my bottle's empty.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I love this.
Didn't send him enough.
Love the Joue. I made a couple of notes here. I might as well use them. Let me go to the top. You had do you still have a red field blend?
Yep. We have 3 in the Joue line. We've got red, white, and rosé.
Perfume, fruit, intensity. Actually, I like the fact your red. Do you still do the Ripasso?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to do that every year just because it works?
I think so. It was kind of serendipitous how we started to do that, and then now that I've started that, I'm going to continue it. So Foch has always been a beautiful variety, but it's always lacked structure.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to work it too hard, which I kind of find if you work Foch too hard, it doesn't like it. It tends to shy away and get a bit clumsy. So I still keep the Foch really bright and fresh, almost like semi-carb macket. And then really happy with, like you said, the vibrancy in the perfume, but to get more structure, instead of ameliorating with something out of a packet, we're 20-year-old dry grown vines now. So our top cuvee of our Pinot is quite tannic. I have to be very careful with my cap management. And when I'm pressing it, I was tasting the press tray, and I have to cut the press at about 1 bar, which is 3/4 of the way through for me. And when I dump the press, I don't want to waste. This is our top cuvee of our Pinot Noir, and I could still squeeze wine out of the must.
Yeah. Okay.
When I do that, I put the Joue back on top, and not only does it give you more structure and texture to the Foch, which is what I was looking for, it gives you more depth and complexity of the fruit and the perfume.
And how long do they sit around together and get to?
3 to 4 days, whenever I can get around to pressing it again.
Oh,
It's real technical, real,
very
no.
technical. And
Yeah. No, 3 to 4 days is enough, I think.
And very geeky and very Veneto.
Yeah. I mean, Italian wine is definitely near and dear to my heart. So a lot of the Joue White actually is modeled after, I'm definitely not emulating, but in my mind, when I was thinking about it, was there's a producer in Alto Adige called Franz Haas, and he makes a wine for his wife called La Mana. And she was basically, what he told me was that she was sick of, well, this pairs with that and this pairs with this. She's like, just make me a wine that pairs with everything. So that's the spirit of the Joue White, kind of a wine that is as versatile. I think it's our most versatile food pairing wine in general. So, yeah.
Well, there is the Joue White, Pinot Gris, Gouert, and Chard still.
Yeah.
We like it, don't we?
I do. I love it. And as I'm getting more familiar with this will be my 4th vintage now at Averill. So as I'm getting more familiar with the site and what the site's give me, and Vancouver Island, I'm relaxing a little bit when I'm starting to see the numbers at the end of harvest. But I'm able to kind of just the wines are becoming a little bit more focused and a little bit more refined as I learn the site and I'm able to work with the fruit here.
You want to run the rosé bias as well?
Sure. Yeah. Joue Rosé is again, one of my first liquid mentors was when I was in university. I was a cellar hand at Alpha Box and Dice in McLarenville.
Nice. They're crazy there.
They're very crazy there. So when I started, it was just me and Justin Lane. I was the only cellar hand, and he was literally a mad scientist running around the winery. It was a blast. But he told me something, instead of like following blindly the status quo of another region, he's like, it's always important to make intelligent responses to the environment you're in. So I think personally, when I came here, I'd never worked with Foch before, but when you taste it on the vine at harvest, it's like fruit salad. It's so juicy, it's so vibrant, it's so expressive that I couldn't see in my mind why you would want to make a Bordeaux blend out of this. To me, it screams rosé, or like a big rosé, or like the Joue red. So I wanted to make a rosé out of it, but the color of Foch is so dark that it would come out red right out of the press. So what I did was I put the Foch and also some Pinot and some Merlot into the press on the champagne cycle, pressed it off into an open top fermenter, and then I destemmed whole berry. One fermenter got Gewürz and the other fermenter got Gris, and treated it like a red ferment. So pigeage once a day, based on taste, let it ferment dry, and then pressed it off.
You guys,
so it's kind of like a red wine, white wine, orange wine, all in one.
Collectively, you are so geeky, the three of you. You have your own geekiness. It's sticky. It ends up in the end of your fingers. It's fantastic. I want to go back to Michelle for just a second. Are you going to be pouring any or allowing any taste of your legacy balsamic?
We'll probably be sold out. Actually, we are sold out at that point right now. So what happens is if I have a part bottle, which I'm looking at one right now, and a part bottle and 100 ml bottle is not very freaking much, but I will always let people taste it. And then they get upset when I can't buy them. Like, I just saved you $100. What are you complaining about? It's okay. So yeah, I mean, we'll have the classic open, and if I have enough legacy to have people taste, even if it's not available, we always let people do that. And we'll pour the Pinot Noir, probably that 16 that I sent up to you, which I'm of two minds of, only because it is such a massive vintage. If it happens to be a hot August, I think I'm going to have to shovel people out of here on wheelbarrows, because that's a bit of a knocker for wine for sure. But
are you gonna pour any Raven the Thief?
No, I'm out at the moment. I've got a Zweigelt in barrel, but it's not coming out of there anytime super soon. So, yeah.
By the way, I just want to, because I wrote these notes, your that Brut Naturel, a plum and saddle and forest and dark chocolate, and it's fabulous. Well done.
That was a great vintage, that one for sure. Yeah.
And Dan Wright, even though you have new owners, I've tasted what I'm tasting, and it's still Unsworth. That's what it is. For anybody who's asking that question, it's still Unsworth.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's all the same people working here, so, and all the same vineyards that we're working with, so not much is going to change on that end. Only hopefully going from strength to strength, you know.
Okay. And listen, with this Cowichan Wine Festival, when August kicks around, are you guys going to disappear, or are you going to actually get to talk to people and wear your masks and a fist bump and stuff? Brent?
Yeah, I tend to, August, the summer for me is you know, kind of loitering and getting paid at work. There's not a whole lot going on. So I kind of hang out and have a bit of a yarn if I can.
Oh, that's compelling. Okay, Michelle, how about you?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be around. Mom will be around. I'm going to have to find somebody else to work in the wine shop this year. I lost my best guy. He's moved on to other things. But I mean, when you're coming to a place like us, you're going to see us. You'll see Geronimo walking by with his little dog, but he's not going to say much to you. Maybe a wave.
I would leave some time, if you're a wine fan, leave some time to find a parking spot. Okay.
Yeah.
It can be tricky. Can be, because when they get busy. Dan, are any trout in the pond this year?
No, I guess we got to restock. Sorry if I've looked a little distracted. We're getting this crazy hail right at the moment, and I've been watching it. I hope the vines are not.
It was here about 25 minutes ago, so I sent it your way. Sorry, Dan.
Jeez. Yeah.
And does anybody have any poor surprises? Anything that you're going to pull out from under the table? I'm looking at you, Brent.
Well, we don't actually know what we're going to be pouring yet, because
that's what this was about.
Yeah, I know, and I had no answer for you. But we're just because we're flying through wines, and we just don't know what we're going to have available. But I do have a couple of, you know, Andy's let me play around a bit, so I've got some sort of one-off nerdy cuvées that may potentially get pulled out here and there.
How about you, Michelle?
Yeah. I mean, we've always got some interesting stuff under the table, and and we've got wine libraries going way back. And if I've got the time, and you're as geeky as I am, and then we can have some fun. Is what I tell people, anyways.
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe like we have a little bit of older traditional method, or we've got a fun geeky wine called Wild Island Oxawa that I do as just a small batch. We might have something like that. So.
I'm not a cider maker in the lot. I can't believe
it.
Here's the deal. Tell them once again the parameters. It's all of August.
Sure, all of August. 12 participating wineries, $35 for the ticket. That gets you a branded wine glass and access to all the wineries.
This is where you hold up the wine glass and
yes,
the logo.
Cheers.
It's a great wine glass. I want to thank you for your time on this Friday. I know you could be doing other things, but it's good to talk to the wine fan and me.
Thank you very much, Terry.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
I hope you enjoy.
Nice hanging with you guys, Michelle, Brent.
Good to see you. We're also alive.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.